Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question here. What is what is everyone's favorite subject to talk about, to think about? What is it? Pause, pause. What do you think, guys? I'm asking you, what's your favorite subject to talk about and think about? Asking you, and you, and you, what's your favorite subject to talk about? You should know the answer. It's always you. It's always them. If you ask a question to if you're talking to somebody, what's their favorite subject? Talking about themselves, or their opinions, or just about themselves generally. That's the point. Talking about yourself is the favorite opinion, and now you can use that, and it includes me as well. I'm not. Everyone's everyone. Everyone's just a human being. Everybody kind of loves themselves, and everyone loves to talk about themselves. It's just a thing we do. As human beings, as egotistical creatures with reptilian brains, that's the way we are. So you can use this to your advantage by learning to ask questions about other people. You can use this as your advantage to be curious about other people, to ask questions and to be curious about them lets them into a space where they can talk about themselves. And when people do talk about themselves to you, they associate you with a person that allows them to talk about themselves, and they associate you as the listener, the questioner, whilst they're talking about themselves, they associate you with the person that is interested in them. Because ultimately, when you talk to someone about yourself and they're just standing there listening and not being disapproving, just listening to it, they think they think automatically that you like them, or that you want to listen, and you're concerned about them, because everything they're voicing their opinions, you're just there listening and not judging, hopefully, or not judging as much as possible. The point is, there's a little technique you can use, probably one of the most powerful techniques in the world, to ask people questions about themselves and get people talking, or get yourself in situations where people can talk about themselves, about their life, about their opinions, about their beliefs, about their happiness, about anything. You get in. This is how people make friends. This is how people make friends, by talking about themselves, and the other person listens. Then the other person gets their chance to talk. Then the other person listens. Because when you're talking about yourself, you associate those feelings, because you're always happy when you talk about yourselves. You associate it with the other person. So if someone always asks questions, you're always talking. Always say a particular friend always asks you questions, and then you get to talk about yourself. You're going to associate that friend with talking about yourself, which you love doing anyway. So you automatically love that person, because you know in your mind there's a habit that every time he asks me questions, I get talking about myself. Now I know I'm going over and over in circles, but the point is that it's really important to kind of develop skills to bring out the best in people and let them talk about themselves. And that's why self-esteem is so important, because the higher self-esteem, the more curious and the more likely you are to ask questions. I mean, I suffer from this problem as a low self-esteem person. I'm not very curious about other people unless it's selfishly going to help me on my path towards success, in which case I am. But I mean, in terms of vibing generally, average people, no. I want to become more, and that's why I'm on this journey, kind of like boost my self-esteem so I can be more curious and make better friendships, because I'll be more interested in other people and better able to ask average people questions and let them talk about themselves. Simple. Always ask questions, and always remember, what's someone's favourite subject? Themselves. Peace.